Star trekking across the universe. Star Trek Beyond, the first of this rebooted Star Trek trilogy not to be directed by J.J. Abrams, as he was, of course, busy with Star Wars The Force Awakens. Instead, Justin Lin takes the director's chair this time, but will he live up to J.J. Abrams? Well, we're about to find out. So, Star Trek Beyond takes place after the events of Into Darkness, where the Enterprise gets attacked surprisingly by this alien named Krull, who needs an artifact inside their ship, which causes the Enterprise to get crash landed on this mysterious world where they must battle Krull and face the ultimate fight for survival. Now, I personally have never been an enormous Star Trek fan. I know everyone loves it, but I was never a particular fan of the original TV series. Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate it. It was just so boring and dull and uninteresting for me. I mean, and I wasn't a big fan of the original movies either, with the exception of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. That is a masterpiece. That is still by far the best Star Trek film ever made, and it probably always will be. But Star but Star Trek the movies, Star Trek the Search for Spock, Star Trek Generations, all meh to me. Didn't care for them much. They barely left any impact, and I think J.J. Abrams has done a brilliant job with bringing Star Trek back, not just for old fans, but for new fans as well. He has put Star Trek back on the map, and I'm glad he's done so because I enjoyed the first two J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. Well, I didn't love them. I don't consider them great, but they're good. I mean, first Star Trek in 2009, it was decent. A good start to this trilogy, and Star Trek Into Darkness, yeah, I enjoyed it too. I mean, it was equally as good as the first film in every way. I know everyone loved Into Darkness and even praised it as one of the best films of 2013, but while I don't think it's that good, certainly not as good as The Wrath of Khan, although Benedict Cumberbatch was legitimately awesome as Khan. It was a good movie, good sequel. I just personally been always more of a Star Wars fan. I absolutely love Star Wars, always have, and I think J.J. Abrams did an even better job with bringing Star Wars back than he did Star Trek. So, with that being said, how is Star Trek Beyond? Well, the first trailer for this film was just okay. It didn't really grab me. It didn't really get me hyped as I should. But the second trailer was really good. The second trailer was like, oh, this has potential. This could be, if this is the last in this trilogy, this could be at least a good end to a decent trilogy. And guys, I can gladly say it surpassed my expectations. I really liked this movie. The reason why this film works so well as not just as a Star Trek film, but as a really good film in general, is that the best thing about Star Trek, the thing I've always loved, has always been the characters, and this movie has the best character moments in the entire trilogy. I mean, Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto are both flawless as Captain Kirk and Spock. They share such good chemistry. They have always been consistently brilliant throughout all three films, and you buy that they're best friends, are willing to sacrifice themselves for each other every second. And Zachary Quinto, he is Spock of this generation. He looks exactly like Leonard Nimoy if Leonard Nimoy was younger. And the other Enterprise crew are great as ever. Zoe Zadana and Simon Pegg, nothing short of brilliant. And the best new character in this movie is, of course, this the new girl, the new female character. She's of course a new species, and she was brilliant. She was epic and completely awesome and badass in every way. Her design was great. Such an original alien design, and we need more design ideas like this, Hollywood. yeah, she was a great addition to this movie. Good to know that Star Trek is finally getting strong female characters, just like Star Wars is. And of course, the villain Cruel, played by Idris Elba. This is Idris Elba's second time playing a villain this year. First Shere Khan in The Jungle Book, and now Cruel in Star Trek. And how is he? Oh my gosh, the Idris Elba. I love the guy. I think he's cool. He is phenomenal as Cruel. He scared the living shit out of me. He is the best villain in this trilogy. Yes, I know this is controversial, but he is an even better villain than Khan from Into Darkness. I wouldn't mess with this guy. At first he's decent. Well, at first there's nothing really remarkable about him, but just wait until the third act of this film, because something happens that makes you go, wow, this guy ain't to be messed with. I applaud Justin Lin for directing character, because that's where Star Trek excels, and the action in this film is pretty darn impressive too, while it isn't in the same league as J.J. Abrams' action, because of course J.J. Abrams did amazing action in Star Wars The Force Awakens, and he did pretty amazing action in the first two Star Trek films, but it's different action, it's original. You still really care about the characters in the battles in this movie. The stakes are pretty high. I even heard that Simon Pegg himself helped write the screenplay, so props to him. He did a great job. And the alien world that we got to see in this film was beautiful. It was so creative. I loved being there. In fact, all of the effects in this movie are flawless. Even the non-CGI effects, the makeup on the girl is incredible, just perfect, and the makeup on Cruel, outstanding. Looked so real, so intimidating. Makeup is something that CGI cannot do. Get that into your head, Hollywood. I even like the music too. It's nothing remarkable or groundbreaking, but it's a decent score, it's serviceable. But as much as I really like this film, it's not perfect. It's still, I wouldn't call it flawless by any means. I mean, of course, the pacing of this film, well, for the second and third acts of the film, the pacing was absolutely fine, but for the first act of the film, the pacing was a bit off. It was a little slow. It was really taking me time to get into this film. In fact, the first act is the weakest part of this film, but thankfully the second and third acts more than make up for it, which is a rare thing. And also, yeah, Cruel does start out a decent villain at first, but it's really the third act where he finally comes into his own. But overall, guys, I really like Star Trek Beyond. Boy, did it surprise me. I know a lot of people consider this to be the weakest in the rebooted Star Trek trilogy. I'm in the minority, but this is my favourite of the three films, and this is one of the better films this summer. If you go and see a film this summer, let this be one to see. I give Star Trek Beyond 4 stars out of 5. So, as always, guys, what did you think of Star Trek Beyond? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter and on my Google+, and I'll see you all next time.